Hi, fellow developers. Welcome to another coding session. And since we did such a wonderful job last week doing the design upgrades to the unit test, I want to do another test-driven development session. And today we're going to look at the pad function. And I'm going to start going into the utils and create a new function. And call it PadChar. And now we have a function return a string here. And this one takes a string as an input. Since this is a global function, we also need to start the parameters with a global. Returns a string. But what we also want to do is we want to know the length that we want to pad. So we have an integer length. And in my case, I also want to have a string schar because I want to decide what character to pad with. We might also need an integer for checking the current length. Now let's see if we can use the pad. This should just return whatever we send in. So we start our unit test. Now we better get back here. Data set append row. Let's see. Where are we? Here we are. So we're going to start by using a new group here, and this is the PadChar function. So that's what we're testing. And then we want to do a move PadChar. And we want to take a string like 1, 2, 3 and pad it with length 5. And then we want to add a char space. And then we can say that to is result. And then we do send a cert. And we do expect shift space pad. And we expect the string to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And then now we run this, and obviously we're going to have it fail because that's what we do. Let's see, there's something missing here. I should put a comma there. Let's go. So run our test, and now we have the PadChar and pad 5. We expected 1, 2, 3. We got 1, 2, 3, but there's some spaces that does not show up in the interface here, so it's incorrect. You can see it in the hover that we actually have more space in front of the expected than in front of the found. So what we want to do now is we go into utils. We want to move 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 2 is res because this is actually the simplest way to solve this test that we have. So we should have a working test now. And that works. But we're not done yet because we want to make another test. We want to make 1, 2, 3, and we just want it to be 4 characters, and we expect this to have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and we run that. And now we can see that this one is failing, and we should say pad4 there, but yeah, pad4. So that's not working, so we need an additional feature here. Size of string to current length. Now we do a while I current length less than I length. Insert PadChar src 0 0, and we move that to res. And then we move the size. There we go. I'll just copy this. And this time we want to move that to source, of course. Because then we check source and we update the source again. Otherwise, we will just update the same thing. And we could actually just return the source because that's what we are updating. Let's keep it simple. And now, since we're adding a space, still we could just run it with space. Just to try this. Test, run. Now all checks out. So we need to make another test that tries something else. So we might want to add zeros to the beginning of this string and pad for 0. And we expect 0, 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, not maybe 5. And run this. And now we can see that we expected 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, and we found 1, 2, 3. So now we want to go in and restore this char and run it to see if we can get it to work by doing that change. And yes, it works. Now, can we get this to fail somehow? Can we figure out another way that this could cause havoc? Well, if we add AA, for instance, how would that work? Then we would expect something like AA if we add 6 to this one, that would be more or less impossible for the script to handle. Yeah, this one is failing. It's adding AA 1, 2, 3, and we actually don't want this behavior at all. So if we run into a situation where this is false, we have a few options, but at least we want to catch it. So if the size of string is char is anything but 1, because we only want one character there, and we want a function return. And the question is, what do we want to return? Do we want to return an error message? Is char requires only one. That's one solution to go with. This might have some consequences in your code, because you could perhaps live with the source in your data, and in some cases it's actually more relevant to just return the source and do not send something else. So that depends on how you're going to use this pad function, which one you want to use. But in this case, I just want to return the source. And that means that what we will get out of this is just 1, 2, 3. This is padding with AA as well. And now this is working. So can we figure out something else that can make this function do anything bad or incorrectly? So what we could do here is call PadChar with data flex, and we only want 4 characters, and we want to pad with underscore perhaps. So we have check underscore pad full data flex. I realize we should pad 6. Zero pad. Space pad. Okay. And we try to run this and see what happens. Yeah, this one breaks, but that's because our test is incorrect. So how do we go about fixing this then? Well, the thing is, we should type here what we expect. So I would expect it to return flex, but that won't solve our function, because we can see that it returns the entire string data flex. So now again, we have a choice. Should this function return only 4 characters, or should it return more if there is more? So right now it's returning more. So if I type dataflex here, and that's what I expect, I will get this test correct. But if I only expect there to be a maximum of 4 characters and we want to clear the rest, then we have to update the function. And we could probably do that by doing a move left, and we have the string, and we have the file length. To source. Now it should be right, because we want the right part of the function to be there still. So let's see if we actually solved it by adding that. Yeah. So this one is also returning correct now, because we expect the flex, and we got the flex out of it. But now we cannot suddenly say that, oh, when we put in data flex, we expect data flex. But if we set this to 10, we could actually expect it to be __ data flex. Just for fun, we could try that. If we missed something here and you want to try it out, then write in the comments below, and perhaps I'll make a new video where I add some other tests to this. But yeah, there you have it. We've done a little bit more test-driven development, and we have a PadChar function that can take a set of letters and pad it with anything we would like. So hope you enjoyed that, and until next time, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.